Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Srimate Lakshmi Nrusimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Pranams, Aneka Koti Namaskarams to the lotus feet of Lakshmi Nrusimha Swami. He is the Lord who taught me bhakti. He is the God who showed me what is the most important aspect of life. He is the Akhilanta Koti Brahmanta Nayaka who proved himself by setting an example to rush to the aid of his devotees' call. Hey Narayana, he is the one who could see with one eye full of Raudra, the fire, to destroy Hiranyakashipu. At the same time, show Karanyam, love, passion, affection, comfort for his child Prahlada. He is the one who showed up the results of genuine, real, crystal pure bhakti when put on him, rendered to him. He is the one and only who gives me his hand to help me, to lift me up the samsara sagara and show me, take me to salvation, ecstasy and moksha. This week, we are to look into the aspect, the real form of bhakti. Hopefully, I think we all could dream of by achieving it is a Himalayan task. But if we are all engrossed in his thoughts, immersed in his love, blessed with his passion and blessings, the anugrahams of him, we can surely achieve it. Jai Sri Lakshmi Nrusimha. To taste the nectar of bhakti, to realize what real ecstasy is to know what a trance means, to know what real form of forgetting indicates, this episode I am going to talk about Tiruppan Alvar. Born in Orayur, Srirangam, he was born in the tribe of Panar, who has the veena-like instrument in hand and who sings in praise of Lord Narayana, Sri Ranganatha. During those times, his Panar tribe was considered outcast. So, with such bhakti, he sat on the bank of river Kaveri and his food was only Lord Ranganatha. He could not come near his beloved Lord. Nobody can bar him from thinking about his pretty Ranganatha. This Alvar, the Alvar in the list of Alvars usually slips into trance very often, thinking of Ranganatha, his Lord. He usually goes into a state of coma, a state of unconscious with tears flowing out, thinking of his Ranga, his Nambarmal, his Lord. One day the priest of that time in the Srirangam Ranganatha temple came to the bank of river Kaveri to fetch water for this holy temple. Tiruppan Alvar stood in the narrow way towards the end of the river and he was as usual in the mood of trance, immersed into his Vaikuntham, this Ranganatha's abode. Now this priest shouted at him, ordered him to keep away, which fell into the deaf ears of the Alvar. The priest took a stone, struck at the Alvar, asking him to clear the way. Now the stone struck at the head of the Alvar and blood started pouring out. Panar opened his eyes, just moved away, said nothing. Now when the priest entered the sanctorum for the day, he was shocked to see blood oozing out from the head of the reclining Ranganatha Swami. The priest realized his mistake and prayed the Lord for pardon. When Ranganatha ordered him to bring Tiruppan Alvar to his temple here to this sanctum sanctorum. The priest ran where Alvar sat, and again he saw the Alvar engrossed in his trance states. He pleaded the Alvar to come to the temple, which was refused by Tiruppan Alvar as he was an outcast and he was forbidden to come into a temple. Saying this, the Alvar slipped into the trance again. He pleaded, he said, "You please move away, O priest." Now the priest said nothing, lifted the Alvar with his hands as a bundle and placed him on both of his arms and started walking towards the Bhuloka Vaikuntham, the abode of Srirangam, Ranganatha. Now the Tiruppan Alvar opened his eyes to see his Ranganatha, the Lord reclining on the Adisesha, the Namperumal, and he could not close his eyes. He started penning the Pashurams, starting from the lotus feet of Ranganatha to his holy head. These Pashurams were listed as Amalan Adipiran in the 4,000 Divya Prabandhams. He could not move his eyes off Ranga, and he decided to say, "The eyes which saw my Ranganatha the eyes which tasted this Yavana of my Perumal, the eyes that feasted on the marvelous beauty from the feet to the head of my Lord, the eyes which drank the nectar of this Vaikuntapati, will never look further. I will never look at anyone, anything hereafter. Saying this Pashuram, he emerged into the reclining hood of Srirangam, Sri Ranganatha Swami, disappearing into Swami himself. This is the form of bhakti we all should long for and try to attain at least a drop of it. We are no alvars, but knowing Tirpan Alvar makes us, drives us, pushes our minds, our thoughts towards the form of bhakti we should possess when we see our Lord Lakshmi Nrusimha. When we go far in Nrusimha Kshetram, let us slowly start from his lotus feet. Lift our gaze upwards towards his thighs with Mahalakshmi Tayar seated on comfortably. Fix our eyes on the broad shoulders of him, which gave the shelter, the comfort by his hugging of his beloved devotee Prahalada. The lion roaring face, the beautiful majestic roaring face of fire with abundant glows. He who looks with both fire and peace, from wherein we can't take off our eyes, move our eyes. Whenever, wherever we are, let all of us glue towards this Lakshmi Nrusimha Swami. Jai Sri Lakshmi Nrusimha. This week, 2 Nrusimha Kshetrams of Andhra. The first one is Malakonda Lakshmi Nrusimha Swami in Veletivari-Palam, Nellore district. Here the presiding deity is Sri Malayadri Lakshmi Nrusimha Swami with goddess Mahalakshmi. Mala is the garland or the hills, and Malayadri is the garland of hills. There are famous Tirthams, 7 Tirthams located here. It is having approach from 3 ways, Kaligi and Singarayagunda and Pamasu. A beautiful Mashi Kshetram of Nrusimha Varu. Next beautiful Kshetra is Limbadri Nrusimha Swami Temple in Bhimagal. This is 63 kilometers from Nizamabad. Actually, Sri Limbadri Nrusimha Swami is located in old Angari of the town, and nearby hill is known as Nimbachalam. And here Nrusimha is seated with goddess Lakshmi on a beautiful lap. Here again, as in Badrinath, Nara Narayana is worshipped. This is known as Dakshina Badri. Krishna and Arjuna are seated here, sitting on left side of Lord Nrusimha Swami. The temple is in a cave, and the story of this medieval temple is mentioned in Brahma Vaivakta Purana. The hill is 20 kilometers south of the sacred river Gautami. The trees and the rocks here are said to be the Devas in service to their Lord. You must see Lakshmi Nrusimha Kshetram. This episode, a continuation of Runa Vimochana Stotram said earlier. Smaranat Sarva Pabhagnam Kadrucha Vishanashanam Sri Nrusimham Mahaviram Namami Runamuktaye Simmanathe Namahata Diktanti Bayanashanam Sri Nrusimham Mahaviram Namami Runamuktaye Prahladavaratam Srisham Daityeshvara Vitharinim Sri Nrusimham Mahaviram Namami Runamuktaye. This Runa Vimochana Stotram explores the sheer beauty of Lakshmi Nrusimha Swami. Hey Nrusimha, you have ferocious roar of a lion, the one with great teeth protecting all directions, destroying fear. Just by remembering you, our all karma sins gets disappeared. Even you throw away the ill effect created by serpents. You are the one who bestowed boons to Prahalada. You are the Lord who holds on goddess Mahalakshmi Ammavaru to your Srivatsam. You tore open the Daman, the Ashura, Hiranyakashipu. Jai Shri Nrusimha. Srimate Nihamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha.